But yeah, so we have a... let me go back. So we have a male half-orc. Medium-sized. And I need an odd or even. So Driz, can you do me a favor? Roll a d6 in chat. On a 1 to 3, we have a player's handbook. On a 4 to 6, we have an Eberron Dragonmarked half-orc. All right, we have a Dragonmarked one. So this is one with the finding. We can put that under... Oh, under race, it would be... There we go. All right, now I need a alignment. Grimvex class has been claimed by Hark. So let me know, Grimvex, if you want to roll for anything else specifically. I don't... Redcap didn't respond. Redcap, if you're there, you also have a floating die roll. Now is fine? Okay. Grimvex, give me a percentile roll. And let's see what our alignment is using the balanced odds. Pell. Hey, Pell. Good to see you. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Wolfblade. You have a puppy. Oh, well, thank you for sharing your puppy. And we stopped on a 6. We have a lawful good. No, you're fine. Pell, I hope you enjoyed your session. That's priority. You don't have to apologize for being, for not being here at all, let alone late. And besides, we're right at the beginning of character creation, so you can join in on the fun. It is a lawful night, yeah. Just not a night with a K. This was alignment, lawful good. Now let's discover at what level we're generating this character. So, Grim, I redeemed your points. And Pell, can you please type !roll space 1D100 to let us know what level our character is going to be. At a 57, we are making a level 12 character. And a level 12 what? We'll see. We'll get there. Wolfblade, can you also roll me a percentile in chat to find out if we're replacing any of our ability score improvements with feats? !roll space 1D100. Rolled an 8. Okay, we're gonna just take stat bumps. All right, now for background, Raz, we're floating yours from before. Can you give me a one? Well, you could put a D78 or 1D78, but can you roll for the background, please? And I'm gonna redeem your channel point here. Rolled a 27, and a 27 is Faceless. You are Faceless. And that is out of Descent into Avernus. And this is going to have an extra roll with it that is going to help describe your facelessness. Technotron, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully I can catch you streaming sometime. We'll give you a raid. And if there's some stuff you want to collaborate on later on in this year, I'd love to work with you in that regard. All right. Who is here that hasn't rolled yet? Anyone like to? Daily, are you here? Coffee Cat, Cold Spark. Hey, Demon. Oh, Mentally is here. Mentally, will you please roll a d10 in chat with exclamation point roll space 1d10? Coffee's here? Okay. We got a 2. All right, we are Faceless number 2. I don't know what that means yet, but we're going to crack open that book, and we'll discover that together. All right, now we come to class. And actually, we're a multi-class character, so we're going to have 2. Got to bail out, got chores in the morning. All right, Demon. Demon, before we go then, one class roll is Harks. And so what I would like you to do, Demon, real quick before you go, whatever Harks is going to be our main class, but can you give me a 13, let me start over. Would you please type exclamation point roll space 1d13? That is a rogue. So our sub job is going to be a rogue of some kind. Now, Swashbuckler and Mastermind show up twice, so we really just need a D7 roll. Hark rolled a 1, and so that is Artificer. So we are in Artificer. I'm going to put Art Rogue. Sneaky Gadget Boy. Have a good night, Demon. Alright, now we need to determine our subclass. And so, Yenaril, will you please roll a D3 in chat to determine our Artificer subclass? One, we are an Alchemist. Alright, and then what kind of rogue are we? I need a D7 roll. And Pell, can you give me a D7 roll in chat to determine our rogue type? I'm going to be skipping the redundant Mastermind and Swashbuckler if it comes up. Rolls on 2, an Assassin. Alright, an Alchemist Assassin. All right. Class features? None for Artificer, none for Rogue. We don't have to worry about that. We have a... What do we roll again? Ah, that's right, a Half-Orc. A Dragonmarked one at that, by the way. A poison master? Well, that could be the case. We'll find out, won't we? All right, let's find out how old is our character. Hark, will you give me a percentile roll to find out how old this alchemy boy is? You rolled an 82, so we have an old character. And for a half-orc, old is 51 plus 1d10 years. Raz, will you please roll a d10 in chat? And if there's others out there I haven't called out... Actually, wait, Coffee, you haven't rolled yet, have you? Coffee, I'll have you roll for the personality. But yeah, go ahead. Raz, give me a d10. Rolled a 7, so he is 58 years old. Coffee Cat, can you roll me 2d8 in chat, please? So we have our personality traits. Five and a 1. All right. Yenarel, I don't think I've called on you a second time, and I haven't seen anyone new popping up. Can you please roll 3d6 in chat for the ideal bond and flaw? Five, 3, 2. All right. There's a couple more things we need to determine his height and his weight. Driz, will you please roll 2d10 in chat for me to get our height modifier? That's the number of inches we're adding to his base height of 5'10". Hi, Cat. Oh, I need one more. Yeah, well, just go ahead and roll one more d10 and we'll add it. Because I needed a 2d10 total. All right, we're adding 7 inches. So we are 4 feet 17 inches tall. We're gonna take that 7 and we're gonna multiply it by 2d6. And so mentally, can you roll 2d6 for me, please? Short old orc poisony boy. This is the name, the title keeps getting longer. All right, 4, so we are going to be adding 28, so 168 pounds. Just, you know, whatever. Gets up in the morning, has pajamas on, you're 168 pounds. That's not his gear or anything along those lines. Okay, I think these are the major placeholders we need. There could be a couple extra things out there. Now what we have to do is discover, remember, we begin with the background, and we need to discover just what in the heck is a Faceless. Oh, Bobo!
Good morning, buddy. What are we making today?
Oh my goodness, Bobo. We are making, let's see, what was it called? The, a faceless, short, skinny, old orc poison boy. Who's nice. Okay, there we go. Pell has the updated status, I guess, of the character here. But we're actually just gonna delve into his personality. Senin, thank you so much for the follow and for being a part of this process. Now we need to crack open our Descent into Avernus. Where is my Avernus? Well, there's my Eberron. We're definitely going to need Eberron. Oh, I thought that was it, but Moorgrave Miscellany is an extension of Eberron here. There we go. There we go. And we need to find our Faceless. That is backgrounds. What I love about a lot of these adventure modules is they will give you ways to also interpret the player's handbook ones. So you're getting Entertainer, but it's not generic Entertainer. It'd be Baldur's Gate Entertainer. It's great, and it's a fun way to expand. It's a great way to expand on things. I haven't included small details like this for Entertainer. You know, maybe I could in some way to distinguish it, but I've already set the character generator on fire for Trustaflump to put out, and I don't want to worry about that just yet. Anyway, so we have a criminal. Here's the Faceless, which is a new background. Being who you are, you could never be a hero. And by the way, we don't have to we don't have to stick this in Baldur's Gate, but let's read it to get a tone. Whether due to your class, your people, your family, or your sins, something about you prevents you from effectively pursuing the path you've chosen. Even so, that doesn't stop you. You've left your old face behind, taking on a new persona, becoming something more. Characters with a faceless background don a disguise, literally or otherwise, as they adventure. This persona might be dramatic or subtle. In a way, though, many characters have such larger-than-life personalities. Therefore, this background largely focuses on detailing the hero behind the mask. We are going to have proficiency in deception and intimidation. We're going to have tool proficiencies with a disguise kit. Language of our choice. And then we're going to get for equipment a disguise kit, complete with fake mustache. A costume of some kind. And a pouch containing 10 gold. Belt pouch with 10 gapuz. So we rolled for the faceless persona. That was the D10 roll, and what was rolled in chat, our Faceless persona is the incarnation of a nation or people. So I'm going to keep that sentence summarized as we are Faceless number 2. Or we could just put persona number 2. We are the incarnation of a nation or a people. So we move around and we'll speak with accents, or we'll refer to regional food or dialects and nicknames, that kind of a thing. Our feature is dual personalities. Most of your fellow adventurers and the world know you as your persona. Those who seek to learn more about you, your weaknesses, your origins, your purpose, find themselves stymied by your disguise. Upon donning a disguise and behaving as your persona, you are unidentifiable as your true self. By removing your disguise and revealing your true face, you are no longer identifiable as your persona. This allows you to change appearances between your two personalities as often as you wish, using one to hide the other or serve as convenient camouflage. However, should someone realize the connection between your persona and your true self, your deception might lose its effectiveness. And so this will be a very compelling character. You know, whether the personality is split between the alchemist and the assassin, or we just take elements from the blend of each. This is going to be a lot of fun to explore. Pell is like, oh, he's V, from V for Vendetta, if y'all don't know. Read it. You could watch the movie. You could watch the movie. It's not bad. Though the graphic novel, molto bene. Now, our characteristics. This is what we have for personality. It would make for a tragic person who had to give up their old life. Can you expand on that a little bit more, Coffee? Our personality, number 5, I think far ahead, a detachedness, often mistaken for daydreaming. And number 1, I'm earnest and uncommonly direct. Yeah, the movie's not bad, but the movie's not the graphic novel. You know, I'll say the same for, well, I mean, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, yeah, but more in particular, Watchmen. Watchmen was a good movie. You know, I read the graphic novel before, but if you read the graphic novel, the movie wasn't the graphic novel. Well, one dons a new name and personality when they have to leave their old life, such as they are running from the law, leave because of tragedy. Oh, and so all the things that person had done up to that point effectively just fade away as if they never happened. And in that case, you've lost chunks of your life. You know, your internal or external resume has been wiped. Yeah, so all that time in your life, you've done things, perhaps even good things for other people, just up and vanish like a fart in the wind. Yeah, or they want to do extraordinary things, but you can't as a normal person, however you want to qualify that. What is his ideal? His ideal is number 5. Incorruptibility. Be a symbol and leave your flawed being behind. You were talking about V and the Guy Fawkes mask? So yes, you play up to a symbol, an ideal that maybe even you can't uphold personally, but your actions support this as an idealistic, incorruptible symbol to other people. magical girl transformation kind of thing, the alternate personality. Is there... Oh, is there... Okay. So it doesn't have to just be a tragic loss. It could just be a mutual exclusivity where you do things, but your other self doesn't gain from it. Oh, you're still here? All right, Redcap. I don't know if there's anything more, anything else to roll. I called for you earlier because you had a roll queued up, but I didn't hear from you. But if there is a roll to be made, I'll give it to you because you floated some inspiration points. Oh, hi, buddy. The cats have been in and out all night. And Raichi kind of does like herkas and like it sounds like he's sneezing or coughing. He has such thick fur though that he gets hairballs, and sometimes he'll just kind of like lean over and go like he'll just wheeze a little bit and then everything's fine. But all right, what is his bond? His bond is number 3. I've seen too many in need. I must not fail them as everyone else has. Ah, Clark Kent syndrome. Ah, that makes sense. Maybe split personality plays to his human side and orc side. Ah, so maybe he wears, so he accentuates and rawr, I'm orc, and then hey, I'm human. That could, yeah.
Sound a feasting horn.
Oh, well, thank you very much, the Mandalorian, for the follow. Welcome aboard. And what is his flaw? Number 2 says, I never make eye contact or hold it unflinchingly. So it seems that we might carry regret, or we're scared that maybe we believe our eyes are always us. They're the window to the soul. We can never truly disguise our eyes. Our eyes are always what they are, no matter how much makeup or prosthetics or wigs or whatever else we wear. And maybe that plays into it. And so people would view us as suspicious because we never want to make eye contact. You know, if I was broadcasting and I was kind of like this with you all, I mean, you would think something's wrong. Pell seems to be falling further and further into the rabbit hole. They'll know I'm the other me by my eyes. And we're not even wearing glasses to cover our eyes. Oh, Sheeps, I know you're asleep, but this was also only 99 cents. Well, so, Pell, there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from other characters we're aware of or love. I mean, look, Coffee Cat might not have had a particular or maybe Coffee Cat had a magical girl in mind. But, you know, by drawing on these symbols, by the things that we understand, we can draw inspiration and we'll make our own version. You know, instead of V, maybe it's C, because it's half of an O because he's half an orc. I don't know. C for concoction. You know what? Someone trying to save a city with chemicals. It reminds me of the, by the way, if you get the paper towels that can split into quarters, oh, so good. The first Batman movie, Joker, where he's like, this town needs an enema. And then proceeds to try and clean it out. And then, of course, we already talked about Mel Brooks earlier this evening. So now we have Dracula Dead and Loving It with the insane asylum guy saying, you know, put him in a straitjacket and give him an enema. No. Give him an enema, then put him in a straitjacket. As Rehnquist is hauled away. All right. Now, this is... See, now what is going to be even more interesting... And by the way, for any of you here, whether you're old or new, we have a phrase around here that is, it writes itself. And in fact, Raz made an emote about that. Capital M, lowercase IWI. It writes itself. Be a symbol. Leave your flawed being behind. Do you know what kind of a symbol we perhaps will leave behind? If you know it, I mean, hey... Throw it out there. It's okay, y'all have a minute. Could that symbol be our Dragonmark? The Mark of Zorro. And considering... As an assassin, we need to find our marks. This manifested, or we were born into it. Or like V from V for Vendetta, it was imposed on us. I don't want to spoil it if none of you have seen it. I'm just going to say it was imposed. We have it right. Hello, everyone. Are we straining our brains as players or DMs? It writes itself. Of all the combinations of everything on that sheet that you all rolled, look at this beautiful poetry that we're getting from it. Ooh, pardon me. So we have our background. Now we're going to focus on who he is as a dragon-marked half-orc. If your half-orc or human character has the Mark of Finding, the following traits replace the character's racial traits in the player's handbook, aside from age, alignment, size, and speed. And so we're going to get Wisdom 2, Constitution 1. Wisdom 2, Con 1. We are going to get 60 feet of dark vision. We're going to get Hunter's Intuition. When you make a perception or survival check, you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled. We're also going to get Finder's Magic. You can cast the Hunter's Mark spell with this trait. Starting at 3rd level, you can also cast Locate Object. Once you cast either spell with this trait, you can't do it again until you finish a long rest. And I think those are level 1 spells. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we're going to have Finder's Magic. And this is going to be Hunter's Mark. Once per long rest. Off of Wisdom. And then I'm going to copy this. And this is going to be Locate Object. Oh, Locate Object is 2nd level? All right. If you have the spellcasting or pact magic class feature, and we'll get spellcasting, we will get spellcasting from Artificer. The spells on the Mark of Finding Spells table are added to the spell list of your spellcasting class. And so if Artificer already doesn't have Fairy Fire, Long Strider, Locate Animals, etc., then we will have access to these. Well, and that's fine if it does. You know, things like locate animals or plants would be excellent for finding alchemical, supplies. And just some other things here. Speak with plants. You know, locate creature as well. Commune with nature. So, you know, Artificer's in the same book here. So we will take a look-see. Now, this is going to be interesting because I've never... Artificer's so new, I've never multi-classed with one. So let's check out what we were going to have to do. So we have our racial information down now. We have 30 feet of run, 15, 15, 0. We're medium-sized. We already have our age and all that. Oh, and we learn Common and Orcish. Ta-da! Oh, I'm sorry. This version is Common and Goblin. Bloop. Sorry about that. That was my fault. R-E-D, read, you idiot. Common and Goblin. Now it is time to determine how do we want to split. Now, when we... Well, it wouldn't be also Goblin because this Half-Orc replaces everything except age, alignment, size, and speed, which means that this language line overrides the normal Half-Orc language line. So Goblin is replacing Orcish in this regard. Now, I don't know, talk to your DM, be like, can I also speak Orcish? And they'll probably say, sure. Have fun. Go nuts. Hey, Mazamune, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. To do this, we need to find where do we want to split our multiclass. Now, it's an artificial restraint. When we multiclass, whatever the first one is we rolled is the dominant class. Now we can tie. I don't mind going 6 and 6, but the first class has to be the same or bigger than the secondary class. And I do that for the reason of, in many cases, if you know that you're going to play a Bard Paladin, people are probably going to tell you, oh, you should totally pick up Paladin first and then take Bard or something, right? Because you can rearrange the features. If we leave it to chance, then we get to work with either less or more with the hand that we're dealt to really inspire us and to think about how this could come into play. It was Artificer, Hark had dibs on class, but the second class was rolled before Hark rolled. So the Rogue was the secondary class. But Hark spent inspiration points to lock in a class roll, and so that's what that ended up being. Alright, Mazamune, lurk away. Thank you for coming by and saying hi. Now, if we look at Artificer, where would be a good split point for purposes of us doing this? Well, you want to go 7 and 5? Well, so we can have it at minimum a 6th level. We can have 6 to 11 levels. Although, if you want, if we're gonna make an assassin, honestly, it would be 9 and 3. So we can go 9 and 3, 7 and 10, 8 and 4. 8 and 4 would give us clean breaks for ASIs. We get Flash of Genius, So we're not really going to see... Well, we can actually, if we go 9 and 3, we get our Artificer Specialist feature. Or if we go 7 and 5, that would give us Flash of Genius. And let's go real quick like to the Rogue. Apparently my hard drive needed to rev up to expand a PDF. That's making me scared. We'd get Uncanny Dodge at level 5. We'd get Expertise at 6. Num 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 num. Yeah, so I mean, we get the minimum for the roguish archetype in that regard. Well, but then there's various splits, Raz. If we go 7... Maybe he just started dipping? Maybe he lived as an alchemist his life, and then something happened in the world where he needed to become this agent, this faceless agent of justice, and so he took levels of assassin? I mean, as an assassin, you don't have to be an assassin like a card-carrying, yes, I explicitly murder people. It's the name for a set of skills that you've developed. Sure. So it could be, you know, any of these I'd be happy with. So if it's at least on a, so let's see. A 6 and 6, yeah, 7 and 5, 8 and 4, 9 and 3, and I think we'd want to stick to the minimum 3, so at least we can dip into actually the rogue archetype. So I'll tell you what, Senin, will you roll a d4 in chat? And on a 1, that's an even 6-6 split. And then we'll just modify it in favor of Artificer from there. Oh. Alright, there's Senin. We got a 3. So 6-6, 7-5... 8-4. People are gonna accuse us of doing this just to get the stat bumps in. All right, 8 and 4. So we're character level 12 for purposes of proficiency bonus. Okay, so this is our split. Before we add in Rogue, we're going to make 8 levels of Artificer and then dip into multiclassing. Multiclass. Artificers are D8. We have 8 levels of Artificer, and so we have 8 D8. Now, pro tip, if you want to split it, you see how this character sheet allows you to split in a multiclass? If you have, like, Barbarian D12s, if they're Rogue and Artificer are both D8s, you could just pool them together and say that you have 12 D8 if you really want to. But if for some reason you're feeling lucky with your Artificer hit dice and not so lucky with your Rogue, I guess you could split the pools if you want to. The Mandalorian, well, thank you for following. Hopefully you're comfortably lurking. You're enjoying the inspiration, the conversation. Thank you for doing so. And if you like who we are and what we do here, you are welcome to see more of that take place on our Discord. We are proficient with light armor, medium armor, and shields. We're proficient with simple weapons. And then we get all kinds of more tools. So we already have Disguise Kit. We have Thieves Tools. Tinker's Tools. and one type of artisan's tools of our choice. Pell, can you please roll a 17-sided die to randomly generate the artisan tool? Is it even artisan tool? Yeah, one type of artisan tools of your choice. You rolled a 2, and so that is going to give us a donkey or a mule. No, that's... Oh, I went too far. Here we go. Brewers supplies. Brewers supplies. Driz kill 4 chickens. Artisan bread. So we can brew up some potions. Or, you know, we can, while we have a vengeance against someone who imposed something bad on us, you know, we can just brew up something to inject in their leg while they sleep and wake them up, tell them no hard feelings, and to give them a merciful death because they still need to die. Well, you know, the line between the two isn't that thick, Hark. A brewer could very easily poison someone with alcohol or even the ingredients in it. There is a type of mushroom. Is it called an ink cap? There's a type of mushroom that you can eat normally, but if you eat it and then you drink alcohol afterwards, there's a chemical reaction that can kill you. And so you have two innocuous things, right? You have beer and you have mushrooms. You put the two together, they react, and you dead. D-E-D, dead. All right, Driz. Hey, thanks for hanging out and helping us make this character. Go back to Eberron. Yeah, hope to see you back on Tuesday for roleplay and Wednesday through Saturday for some Unearthed Arcana character creation. All right, Con and Intelligence are going to be our saving throw proficiencies. And skills. We get 2 from Arcana, History, Investigation, Medicine, Nature, Perception, and Sleight of Hand. Well, we're a Faceless. We think far ahead. That's probably Investigation if we're trying to stay 3 steps ahead of someone. We're earnest and uncommonly direct. We are a symbol. We have a symbol. I've seen too many in need. I must not fail them as everyone else has. That could be history. I never make eye contact or hold it unflinchingly. Yes, the skills from the background are Deception and Intimidation. Deception and Intimidation. Sleight of hand to place the poison? Ah. Alright. I'm picking up what you're laying down, Senin. We get 1 more. Medicine? The line, again, as we discussed with Hark, the line between poison and medicine is very thin. Now, might we get that with the Alchemist? Perhaps. I need to look ahead. History, though, you know, if we have a strong sense of history and what's happened to people and this in a sense of justice. So let's take a peek real quick. Does being an alchemist actually give us Oop, I went too far. You gain proficiency with alchemist supplies. If you already have this we don't. Well, yeah, so I think the discussion, medicine works with his bond. I've seen too many in need, I must not fail them. So yeah, we're here to cure people, to try and help them out. History works with his bond, because then he reads about the injustices. He reads about whatever's been happening. And so some of this, if I can step to the side, bring this up with your dungeon master and say, you know, I'm really on the fence here. Which one do you think I could use more often? Or which one do you think would help out more? Because I could make, you know, as a dungeon master, if you asked me if you wanted to work with poison, then medicine, sure. Nature, sure. Survival, you might make a strong case for it if your character is, like, really bendy in that direction. So fortunately, we have a little bit of flexibility, and if we are operating under the presumption that you're not afraid to talk to your dungeon master, because you should never be afraid to talk to your dungeon master, and if you are, you might want to consider a new game. Pardon. Who knows? Soda makes you burp. There's no warning label. Oh, wow. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, please stop in and raid and come say hi here, as we're putting some polish on our multi-class character. But you know, if we're getting proficiency with alchemical supplies, that might cover for medicine. And so history would give us a sense of justice, since that seems to be what we're looking to do. You know, history is uncommonly direct. You know, we're thinking ahead because we're reflecting on our past. You know, there's a lot of ways we can explain it. Ultimately, hey, just download this character and switch the bubbles if you really want to. So sleight of hand and history, I think, are going to work. We come back up here. We have our skills, our equipment. Studded leather or scale mail. Thieves' tools and a dungeoneer's pack. So I guess we'd get... The weapons, again, if we wield a strength weapon, if we wield a dex weapon, the weapons can be what you want them to be. I'm not too worried about that. Raz, we may, but we haven't dipped into Rogue just yet. We're building our 8 levels of Artificer first. Wow. Oh my goodness. Power level coming in. 19 viewers, thank you so much for the... Y'all are rating us now. All right, everyone, please receive our raiders with some Matty Morgs and emotes as subscribers, or BTTV works as well. Yeah, welcome, raiders. Optional rule, firearm proficiency. It's there. If you play with pew-pew guns, then they get them. If not, no biggie. There's alternatives. Now, with 8 levels of Artificer, Rogue's not going to give us spell levels, not as an assassin. So we have 4 and 3 for our spell slots. We look like we're half-casters. And then we are going to know 2 cantrips. 1, 2. Yeah, welcome, man. Ah! The strength, the power. Look at this. We're up to 43 viewers. Amazing. Thank you. We are building a multi-class from pure random character generator developed here in our channel. We randomly roll through our races. Look, we have 93. Here, I'll scoot this over a little bit. Background, we determine the level at which we're creating it. 78 backgrounds, the 13 classes and subclasses and all this. And from these random prompts that we roll together in chat, well, we make something really cool. And for a multi-class character here, we have an Alchemist Artificer and an Assassin Rogue multi-class character. I'll be lurking like a bridge troll. That's fine. Hey, I hope you all had fun. In fact, oh, hang on. I have a new command. Hey. There you go. Thank you for stopping by. I gotta remember I have that because, oh, we were raided with a couple other folks here. Mazamune as well. Mazamune, I don't know if you're still lurking still. Whoops. There we go. All right, we are heading back to Eberron here to build our Artificer. I'm not worried about spell casting just yet. Don't need to worry about the spells. That's one of the last things that we do because we need to build our character first. Our spells will be determined by who we are and what we do. All right, we get magical tinkering. So we're going to say that this is Artificer. Magical tinkering. And if you have the Eberron book, I'm not going to go through all of these abilities. I know this is newer content, but you can read about this. I want to list this. You know, if we need to get a gist of something, we can. But, you know, this is kind of a way for you to simulate some cantrips in a physical manifestation, which is it's really cool. A lot of good role play and some functionality stuff too with magical tinkering. Ooh, pardon me. We'll get spell casting, but again, I'm not worried about spell casting just yet. Infuse item. Pick 4 Artificer infusions to learn. There we go. Whenever you gain a level in this class, you can replace one with a new one, so it's kind of like invocations. Infusing an item, here's the rules on it. We're not mechanically playing the character tonight, we're building the character, so this is important to note on how you infuse an item, but I'm not worried about listing that. I just want to get the infusions that we can do. 3rd level, we also have the right tool for the job. You learn how to produce exactly the tool you need. With Tinker's tools in hand, you can magically create one set of artisan tools in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you. Tool expertise, because we're 8th level, so we're getting tool expertise. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check that uses your proficiency with a tool. And we have disguise kits, thieves, tinkers, and brewers, and we'll get alchemy as well when we load that in. We're going to get Flash of Genius, and that is going to be our last baseline Artificer class feature. When you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes an ability check or saving throw, you can use your reaction to add your intelligence modifier to the roll. Yes, we are an int-based, which is it leans in well with rogue, which is nice. We'll probably be like an int dex build. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum once, if you regain on a long rest. So Flash of Genius, int per long rest. And then we're going to put down here Alchemist, as that is our sub job. Actually, let me double check something. Infusions known. By 8th level, we're actually up to 6, and we can have 3 infused items. And so we come down here. we learn... Oh, we just go straight to 6. And we get those at 6th level. Okay. And then I'm going to make a note. Infused items, we can have 3. There we go. I think that's a succinct way of putting that on the character sheet. He's our old, short, poisony, sneaky symbol of justice-y good boy. Gray, that's a serious Diet Root Beer bottle. Yeah, well, hey, I got a nice Diet Root Beer for 99 cents, and it's a name brand for once, because I usually just buy store brand, because why pay more? 34 Nalpha, hello. What book are you referring to? Yes, this is Eberron Rising from the Last War. What did you use those coins for, Pell? Alright, cool. What does Alchemist give us by level 6? We get tool proficiency, and so we are going to have Alchemist tools. We're going to have Alchemist spells. Starting at 3rd level, you always have certain spells prepared after you reach particular levels in this class, as shown in the spell table. So we're going to get... Healing Word? Yeah, these have to be level 1, because you can only go up to level 5 as a half-caster. So we have Alchemist spells. I'm just going to put Alch, I guess. And we will have Healing Word and Ray of Sickness. Flaming Sphere. Whoop, I put the Flaming Sphere before the Alch. And Melf's Acid Arrow. We also get Experimental Elixir. Beginning at 3rd level, whenever you finish a long rest, you can magically produce an experimental elixir in an empty flask you touch. Roll on the table for the effect. Which is triggered when they drink the elixir. As an action, a creature can drink an elixir or administer it to incapacitated creatures. Creating it requires you to have alchemist supplies in your person. When you reach certain levels, you can make more elixirs at the end of a long rest. 2 at 6, so we're going to be doing that. So we have experimental elixir. Two. And we also have Alchemical Savant. You develop masterful command of magical chemicals, enhancing the healing and damage you create through them. Whenever you cast a spell using your alchemist supplies as the spellcasting focus, you gain a bonus to 1 roll of the spell. Must restore hit points or be a damage roll that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison. The bonus equals your intelligence modifier. Ah. Well, you know, we're gonna gain some and lose some. All right, so we have built this city on rock and roll, and by that I mean we've created 8 levels of Artificer. Now it's time to multi-class and to add on 4 levels of Rogue. Now, if we consult Chapter 6, if we want to multi-class Rogue, we need to have at least a dexterity of 13. So I'm going to put that here. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Now, ooh, you know what? I have to find, because you also have to meet the requirements for multiclassing from your original class. I imagine it'll just be intelligence, or maybe even intelligence dex or con, which might not be bad, but I have to find where you can multiclass, or what you need to multiclass into or from an Artificer. Alchemist, Artillerist, Battlesmith, Infusions. Magic items. I imagine because it's an int caster. I didn't know if there was a rider, though, because half casters sometimes have, like paladins, you have to have strength and charisma. Rangers, you have to have... No rider? Well, so I have to imagine, though, if you're going to go into an Artificer, like, you would get some class features. Is there not a reference in this book that describes what happens if you're multiclassing into or out of an Artificer? Still, we got to choose our infusions also before I completely depart. There we go. What would we take? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eight for replicate magic item. Oh, there's so many. 9, 10, 11. Ooh. The official ruling is it's the same as the Unearthed Arcana. So it's just a straight 13. What would we gain? Like a druid, would we get light, medium armor, and shields? Or a barbarian kind of gives us that too. Does it say what that has? All right, well, anyway, we're going to have a high intelligence, so we just got to make sure, hey, can we have a 13 int index on a character? Heck, even on the standard array we can. And our character isn't really, straight 13 int. You get armor, light, medium, shields, thieves' tools, and tinker's tools. Okay. Oh boy, what infusions? There's a lot of stuff here. Repulsion shield. Creature gains a +1 to armor class while wielding it. Shield has 4 charges while holding it. The wielder can use a reaction immediately after being hit by a melee attack to expend one of the shield's charges. Oh yeah, to push him 15 feet away. So I guess that would mean that we don't even have to have the shield. We can just make other people's shields repulsive. Probably draw something lewd on the front of them. The homunculus servant could be interesting as well. All right. I don't want to get caught up in this because I'm not too familiar. If you all have suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I will leave these open like I'm going to leave the spells open for the spells that we're going to know. Speaking of which, on here, now that we have these things auto loaded in, we know 2 cantrips, and then at level 1, we get 2 spells. At level 3, we get our 3rd, and that one cannot be in a 2nd level slot because we don't have that one yet. 3. We get our 4th at level 5. And then at level 7... No, this is... Oh, those are spell slots. Derp. Cantrips. Oh, wait, hang on. Am I doing this incorrectly? Or is this like Paladin, where it's you prepare from the list? Was I looking at yeah, those are spell slots per level. I was looking at spells. No, never mind. I've not played an Artificer in 5th Ed, so I'm being a dum-dum. Yeah, well, we gotta prepare. All right. Then it is plus half, yeah, int plus half modifier. Okay. We're preparing as an Artificer. So just like a Paladin or a Ranger. Spells prepared equals half level plus int. We're going to cast off int. And there we go. Yeah, the cantrip versatility is really nice. And then, of course, you can put cantrips onto little items, too, with the tinkering. And that's a lot of fun. Okay, so this is open as it is. And we have made our 8 levels of Alchemist. So now, what do we get for dipping into Rogue? Light armor, we already have. 1 skill from the class's skill list, and Thieves' Tools. We already have Thieves' Tools. Now, this is where you can ask your DM, hey, I have redundancy. Would you let me either take Expertise, because I have a doubled up Thieves' Tool proficiency, or can I take another tool of some kind? And maybe your DM says, yeah, but you gotta roll it randomly, or, I don't know, something else along those lines. Now, let's take a look and find out. Rogue, we get a skill here. Acrobatics, Athletics, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Investigation, Perception, Performance, Persuasion, Sleight of Hand, and Stealth. Well, you know, we're faceless. We are someone who is, you know, we're not terribly social, but we do things to try and, you know, we do want to move among the shadows. We do want to move among the populace. I can see stealth as being very important to this character. I could also see maybe investigation. We already have deception and intimidation. And sleight of hand. I don't think we really care as much about insight because we're not social and we don't really care about other people's opinions. We know what's going on, and we're not asking for permission. We are acting on the good of other people.
Sound a feasting horn.
Oh, Nelfa, thank you for the follow. So I'm kind of digging stealth. If any of you have a different idea, hey, throw it out there. I'm open-minded, but this one seems to be what this character, from his personality and who he is, this is what he would do. We're going to add in, well, we already added in our hit die. Investigation because he seeks out justice? Sure. Bloop. You gave me the last one, Senin. I'm fine with investigation here. That absolutely works. Oh, you can't do this to me! Senin, disagree with me. Give me a counterpoint. Which one do you want, Senin? We only get one. This is where I look at you and I get an angry face, and in a loud voice I say, I'm agreeing with you! You're fine with stealth? Hark wants to Nope, that's fine. Alright, so Senin, hey, I gave you the call if you want an investigation, and if any of you don't, download this off Discord later and swap the bubbles. All right. Our proficiencies we already have that from multiclassing. Equipment you don't get. We do get expertise. So now I'm going to come down here, and we are getting rogue, expertise, and we are going to be getting expertise in 2 skills. We're not 6th level yet, but we'll get there. Which 2 skills should we have expertise in? And or it's 1 skill in Thieves' Tools. Thieves' Tools could come in handy for someone who has to break into places. Throwing that out there. But let me know what you think expertise-wise would be good for this character. We are going to get Sneak Attack. And as a level 4 character, our Sneak Attack is 2d6. We are also going to speak Thieves' Cant. We are going to have Cunning Action. Makes us very mobile on the battlefield. Roguish Archetype, and then Ability Score Improvement. So, I'm going to come down here. And as an Assassin, we are going to get bonus proficiencies. You gain proficiency with the Disguise Kit and Poisoner's Kit. Well, we already have proficiency with the Disguise Kit. I guess that could give us expertise if we doubled it up. And so in that case, I guess we could have expertise Thieves, expertise Disguise. Ooh. Man, you could be anywhere. You could be anyone. Especially wombo comboed with your class feature of dual personalities. You can be wherever people don't want you to be. Guy had a long life as an artificer, maybe brewers. He had to have a long normal life. Well, the expert. All right, you could argue that with your DM. If we go strictly by the expertise in rogue, it is 2 skills or 1 skill in specifically Thieves' Tools. They would have to be skills he got from rogue to... No, not necessarily. Especially because we only get 1 skill from rogue. It simply means that in our rogue training, or however we want to explain how he learned his techniques, that he just doubled up on training in something in particular. So if we gave him investigation, sure, that was off of rogue. It doesn't have to be what we took from rogue, though. So, I guess here, so we have some redundancy. We could go expertise Thieves, but we might have already had expert in that from something else. Yes, a finely crafted ale. Well, why don't we make a note here then? Disguise kit, we'll say, is doubled up from the assassin and the background. Thieves' tools, we can... Because I think that would be a big part of things as well. Because we do get it from here. And so I am the DM, and so I will say we already had Thieves' tools from Alchemist or Artificer. We get it again from Rogue. I think we're already an expert in that, which would mean then that our expertise could be in 2 skills. Or now, if y'all want brewers, then we could have an expert brewer. But if we stuck to 2 skills, go stealth. That makes more sense. All right, so we'll put that in there. Which two skills? Which 2 skills would you'd have expertise for this character? And then we have Assassinate. You are your deadliest when you get the drop on your enemies, or even a drop. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet. In addition, you hit any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit. And infiltration's level 9. I don't know if we'll ever see that, but you know, such is as it is. Deception for sure. Oh man, we're a very deceivy boy. Deception, sleight of hand. Stealth could work as well. Although, I mean, stealth is kind of redundant with deception and disguise. There's probably times we want to sneak, but most of the time, just plain sight. Because we're so well disguised. Sleight of hand. I'm fine with sleight of hand for expertise. Alright. So besides choosing our infusions, congratulations, we have the chassis of this character built. Our multi-classed Alchemist and Assassin. And now it is time to drop the engine into the character.
Sound a feasting horn.
Unknown username. Well, now we know your name. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome along. Now we drop the engine in. We have to make sure that we have at least a 13 dex and a 13 int, but honestly, this is going to happen. This is going to happen anyway. I mean, just going off of the standard array of 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. I think we do have a very smart and a very dex... Oh, actually, I'm going to put that here. We have a smart and a dexterous person already. Strength, I think, is absolutely going to be our dump stat. Whether that's because if you want to say it's old age, she's just never lifted, because we have to be sneaky. You know, it's easier to look like you can be bulky or use magic to help than to have a big physical bulk. 15, 14, I think charisma, because he is a person of the people. Yeah, we've used a custom character generator made for our channel here, and we've taken a lot of random inputs and have deposited them onto our character sheet and have built a fully functional, well, it's almost fully functional. We'll test it on the rebels when they come out of hyperspace. We are building a fully functional character from all these random elements, challenging ourselves along the way to build a character that has depth of personality and background, as well as being mechanically viable, even for weird combos that maybe we've never thought of before. 15, 14, 13. You know, I just don't... like, wisdom should be, like, okay. He's probably, if he brews, if he works with poisons, if he has all this going for him, I think he's going to be a little bit hardier in Constitution as well. 15, 14, 13, 12, 10 Wisdom, and 8 Strength. Well, he's going to get a 13 Con because of his Half-Orc bump. Well, hey, Unknown, you are absolutely in the correct place. This is a welcoming workshop. We are happy to have newcomers to the hobby here. If you have questions, you can stop us any step of the way. Myself or a lot of other people here will be happy to answer them. So you want the 13 in Con and the 12 in Charisma. If we stick with this, we add in our racial modifier to bring us to a 12. Our racial modifier to bring us to a 14. Hey, Mr. Enfer. And from here, we are going to get 3 stat bumps. Artificer 4, Artificer 8, Rogue 4. So if we do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, how's your experience been? Have you had fun? Any particularly good or bad stories to share? I think intelligence we're gonna bump up by 1. I think our dexterity we should bump up by 2. And probably bring up our intelligence 1 more time. But bear with me. I'm kind of tempted to actually put it in charisma. Am I wrong? Do you think that with his personality, the things that he is and does, should it actually be back in intelligence? He does think far ahead. You know, but he is also this symbol. He means a lot to people. Where do we want to put these other 2? No, this is the Dragonmark Half-Orc. And so it has a different stat bumps. Oh, so you had a player that was being very needy, or didn't get the hint? Yeah, hopefully the DM said, well, if you want it, invent it. Or, look, I understand. That's nothing that is going to be involved in this campaign. Maybe next, or something along those lines. Because you can always say no. You can say no, comma, but. Or you can say, if you want this, I want you to invent it in this world. That way the player is invested in the world and is going to participate in it. I think we're going to put it in intelligence. And, oh no, we have one floating ability increase. Well, you can always stick it in your strength score because you get mechanical benefits from your strength score, not just your strength modifier. So after doing that, we have a -1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 1. We have a -1 and a -1 to our save and athletics. 3 and 3. We are proficient. We are experts in sleight of hand, meaning we get double proficiency, and we're level 12. Our proficiency bonus is 4. So that is 8 plus 3 is 11, and then stealth is a 7. Con save is a 6. Intelligence save is an 8, and an 8 history, with 4s elsewhere down the line. Wisdom is just, 1, straight down. And there we go. Yeah, D&D Beyond, it's a very good guided way to build characters. The way that we approach things in the workshop is a little different, though you might find a little bit more depth in it, depending on what you're going for. There's 11 billion ways to make a character. There's no one right way, and except the way that works best for you. So as we are building this character slightly differently than what D&D Beyond presents, again, if you have questions, you are free to ask. So you did share a bad story because, look, unfortunately, there are people at the table who can be negative or repetitive or something along those lines. Being a newcomer to the hobby, unknown username, what is a victory story? What is a moment of hilarity, success, ingenuity, or something that even if it like dropped the floor from beneath you, that has left an impression on you? Something that's positive, something that is, I want more of this. Okay, passive perception's 11, since that's 10 plus our perception modifier. By the way, our character no longer is a set of stats. He has earned a name, and I'm open to names. Armor class. Well, that depends on the armor we're wearing. If we're wearing scale mail, it's medium armor. Then there's that. Of course, we can take studded leather. Then we'd get all three of our decks. And if we're wielding a shield, there's some variables there. If we go with, let's say we did go with studded leather. Because that allows us to stealth, by the way. That's 12 plus dex. So if we say that we have a shield, 12 plus dex is 15. Plus 2 from the shield is 17. Our initiative is a plus 3. If we don't have a shield, that's fine. I have to double check if artificers can cast with things in their hands, though. And they don't have to take the Warcaster feat. Current hit points at level 1. At character level 1. Because you would not get this again at level 1 of Rogue after multiclassing. You get all 8 of your D8 hit points. For every level after, so 11 of our 12, you get half plus 1 of your hit points when you level up, unless your DM says otherwise. Then for all of your levels, all 12 of them, you get bonus hit points equal to your Constitution modifier. And so here is our simple math problem. We have 24 bonus. We have 55 from leveling up. This is going to be 63. This is going to be 87 hit points at level 12. If we're attacking with a strength-based weapon, we're swinging at a plus 3. If we're attacking with a dex-based weapon, we're attacking with a plus 7. Cantrips, I'm not going to choose the spells. They're here, and we can monitor them, or fill them in. You can fill them in as you'd like. If we're attacking with our spells, we have a plus 8 to hit. Ooh. And to resist, it's a 16, because all you do is add 8 to whatever your attack modifier is for your spell. Ta-da! We come down here. We have a 16. We have a plus 8 to hit. We have 4 and 3 for our spell slots. And then the number of spells we can prepare. Half of our Alchemist, or our... remember, it's not our character level. Half of our Artificer level is 4. Plus Intelligence is 4. So we can prepare 8 Artificer spells on top of what we get through Alchemy in our 2 slots that we can cast through. Someone died of alcohol poisoning? What's the story to that? My goodness. Speaking of... So the character over here would be someone who could inflict that on someone for certain. You think he has an unassuming name? You know, Pell, I've seen it brought up a couple times by you and others referring to this person. What if his name is Guy? Yeah, never apologize for being new. All of us were new once. Everyone who... Now, not everyone who's been new once and has gone on will treat newcomers with respect. Though you're going to find in this community, the vast majority of us remember that we were also new and that we want to welcome people to this hobby in a meaningful and engaging fashion. You know, I'm not here to pander. I'm not here to, I'm not here to give everyone a trophy. If you have a question because you don't have knowledge, speak up. I'm not going to put you on the spot and call you names or anything. But let's overcome the lack of knowledge by instilling it. And the best way to do that is if you do ask questions and engage in conversation here. And you'll find that myself and others will be happy to do so. Absolutely, we need more people. And in fact, if you like what you've seen so far, please do join us in our Discord as well. We keep it safe for work, PG-13, and we have a mentor network if you have questions and you need help. If you want to share any arts and crafts, if you want to talk D&D or other role-playing games, we're a very solid community that does everything that you just got in the elevator pitch here. Coffee, you're still awake? And so this is a Coffee Cat Cosplays instead of Coffee Cat Presents. Coffee's been doing some amazing cosplay stuff and has been sharing it as well on Discord. Oh, that is wonderful. As someone who owns a game store, I don't run Adventurers League proper, but every Thursday I've been running Tomb of Annihilation. It's a ton of fun, and I love seeing new faces and younger people. This inspires them. It helps them with storytelling, English skills, math, negotiation, socialization. Oh, it's so powerful. Oh, you did sleep earlier. Yeah, you took a cat nap. Oh, you play Warhammer. All right, pushing plastic. I can respect that. So yeah, hey everyone, we have a finished character. Woo! He has at least a nickname, and there's some other details, but when this character gets loaded up onto Discord, you'll be able to download the character sheet, play around with him. Change whatever you like. You don't want him to be a half-orc? Just make the proper modifications. This is a base template now for a really cool concept that came about through random dice rolls and the power of our imaginations. It's a character who's functional mechanically and has depth of character. If you play this character just by picking up the sheet, you should hopefully get a feel for him. How does he make decisions? What has he done in his life? And it's not even a ton of, it's not a wall of text reading a lot of this either. Yeah, pal, if you do, let me know, because I'd love to meet you there. Well, but hey, Coffee, let's, we don't have to be saccharine about it, but if there's a way to look at it as, is this a way for you to, refresh and now you're doing something productive because of it? Then that nap served you well. Now, I'm an eternal optimist with a realistic bend. Yeah, so, because Coffee, you of all people know, I don't give trophies to everyone. I don't, I'm not a saccharine person where everything is beautiful and wonderful. But you know what, Coffee, you're up, you're being productive, you're doing some cool stuff. You're here sharing time, and I'll tell you what, Coffee, that means a lot to me. And so, your presence here, just as you're chatting on the side, does have an impact on other people. It's meaningful. You are meaningful. All right. Well, everyone, congratulations. We have made a very cool character. who, Pal, this is very much like V from Vendetta. So of course we could turn it into whatever. You know, the Dragonmark is the name, or C because it's half an O for orc or something like that. Compelling person, lived a long life, has probably seen, I mean, especially for a half-orc, has probably seen enough injustice and said, you know what? I'm old. What do I care? I'm going to go out and right the wrongs of the world. You know, to fight oppression or tyranny, or to help do something or another with his skills. And now he's become this symbol. You know, you have the old man who represents, any man in the country kind of a thing. And now this person has stepped up and has donned this moniker of the Dragonmark, or whatever we'd want to call him. And he can enjoy the rewards of what he does in his, in his natural form. And then when he puts the mask or the cape and cowl or whatever on, he goes out and he impacts people's lives as much as he can with whatever life he has left. Look, he's practical. I'm earnest and uncommonly direct. He knows at 58, if he doesn't get himself killed, he might have 10 years. What's 10 years? If he can free babies born today, or whatever, we're kind of being nebulous, but this is awesome for DMs to build worlds off of a character your friend or family member gave you. If he can do it today, that kid doesn't have to grow up in that environment. And if he can get it done before he would die naturally, then he's left his mark on the next generation. If he can die trying, he knows he's actually tried to do something with the remainder of his life, or even his life in total, because he felt inadequate or something along those lines. We have a beautiful character made with a bunch of random dice rolls. Guy the Faceless. V. Izfor. a.k.a. Guy. Or Guy the Faceless. I like it. All right, you wonderful people. It is very late. And we're going to raid. I would like you to come with me down to Australia. We're going to raid the Salty Dragon Tavern, where it looks like the crew is having a good time playing D&D as they do. You don't need a passport to come with me down there. Probably a t-shirt. It's a little warm. But let's go raid the Salty Dragon Tavern. They're certainly friends of the channel. Great group of people. Yeah, send in. Hey, thanks for your input. Stopping by. Unknown username. Thank you as well. I hope to see you all on Discord later. I do not broadcast Sunday and Monday night, but I will come back on Tuesday to RP and Coffee Cats in that group. And then Wednesday through Saturday, we're going to take the new Unearthed Arcana material, and we're going to generate characters using that and exploring that content. So I hope you'll join me for roleplay on Tuesdays, workshops Wednesday through Saturday. There we go. Coffee Cat plays Mordecai on Tuesday. So thanks for everyone. It was a ton of fun. Capsules will be restocked back up to 50. All sorts of fun stuff. I'll get shipments out of minis and all. Oh, it was a wonderful anniversary week. I'm honored. Thank you all very, very much. And yeah, I'll see you in Australia, okay?
People take museum quality photos of things every day. Like grapefruits. We invented the ever popular feet on the beach genre. And the don't forget your parking spot genre. We share photos of friends and food and friends as food. And because we're so good at taking photos, we're also really good at doing taxes. People can be good at anything. Yes, even taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
He was.
I imagine to get the camera to work properly.
Tim speaks from the grave.
I speak from the black darkness.
Oh, you're the fascinating.
So we always had 2 people die tonight?
Yeah,
Almost had 4 people die.
No, 4 people died. It was close to a party fight.
Let's be honest, it was a party fight, but Tim wasn't being generous.
I did
Oh,
die.
well,
I can that we do everything we can to
finish the stream, I'll go through with a couple of
But
you guys.
I won't.
players. No, characters. Characters. Definitely characters.
You can carry our players.
I
Yeah.
know.
The players